Is this the kind of album that sounds great every listen, or does it wear you down ever so slightly as time goes on? Whether you hate it or love it, or think he's an industry plant, I mean, who cares about that stuff anyway, right? Although it gives complete power to the people behind them. Closing the gap even more than nepotism already has to one of the most lucrative and desirable industries. It is who you know after all, leaving independent artists to struggle to make any sort of income, leaving you and me, the common people, to consume what the industry push us, making the rich richer. Either way, there's definitely something here that you're gonna get on with. So I've spent the last few days with Noah Kahan and his new album, The Great Divide. On one hand, I like this thing. There are songs that I've genuinely come back to, and songs that really do hit quite well. The writing is still doing a lot of heavy lifting, in my opinion. On the other hand, and on points, it does feel like Noah here has worked out a formula. And instead of pushing it forward, he's just making more of it. Sonically, it's exactly what you expect, right? It's sort of folky, indie, rural music. Acoustic guitars, stomp clap percussion, big pop folky builds, although it does miss a bit of those gang vocals, I'm not gonna lie. But it is all here. But another issue is that it feels too clean. And I know that sounds like a really stupid complaint, right? But everything feels so polished that it misses that kind of messy, rural, raw charm that his previous work kind of had. This feels less like a guy just strumming his feelings into the guitar, but rather creating a formula around it and processing it into something audible. This is sounding like a bad thing, but actually, a lot of the album is pretty good. But when you stretch that sound across this album, which is quite long, yeah, it starts to wear thin. But again, it doesn't take away from the album things that are actually good about it. There's a run of tracks here and there where things blur together. Same tempo, builds, emotional tones, so forth and so on. Fortunately, these are also separated by tracks that hit really well. Starting off with the track End of August, and this song really tells you a lot about the album to come. Starting off early morning or at night, I can't tell, but you have these insect sounds, things are starting to sound serene, it's really nice and calming. And the first instrument you hear is this piano, unexpected, but I like it. It's all very mellow and chill with Noah's vocals, and then we get that folky build up to the end. It's quintessential, but it does add a little bit extra to other artists in the genre, but is it enough? Here's the thing, when I'm getting bored sonically, the writing still pulls me back in. Because Noah Kahan is really good at writing in a specific way that kind of feels real and relatable. Take the song The Great Divide. The instrumentation is great, the guitars feel full and dynamic, the melody really sticks, and it's one of those moments where the production really holds well. Lyrically, it hits that feeling of wishing the best for someone you used to know, whilst also accepting there's a distance that you can't really fix or get near to them anymore. It's reflective without being over dramatic, and I love that. Even the song Downfall I found really interesting. The lyrics feel really bitter, but I think we've all had thoughts like that before about someone, but here it's almost like he doesn't want them to do well and he kind of hates them and resents them for leaving, but he wants them to come back. It's a very mixed up situation that, you know, if it's real, I hope he can fix somehow. Musically, it's not that bad either, it's not great, but it still works very well in context. Then you have the song Haircut, and this is where the storytelling really stands out to me. It's that classic getting successful and how other people perceive you and talk to you and treat you after. Instead of making it a big ego thing, it's quite grounded and quite uncomfortable. He doesn't fully reject it, but he's not embracing it either, you know, as I think a lot of celebrities probably do. Deny, Deny, Deny is also another highlight for me, but not musically and lyrically, it's more vocally. You get more of a dynamic feel to Noah's voice here. It's very high and low and everything in between. I don't know, it feels more dynamic. But then you hit the middle to late stretch. Spoiled, All the Horses. This is where the album starts to fall short for me. These songs aren't generally bad, they're just the same. The same sound, pacing, emotional, like I've said before. And in this point of the album, I'm just checking out a little bit. And this, again, I think is where the length of the album is a problem for me. Some people may like it, but just a little bit too much for me. Closer to the end of the album now with the track Dan. This one's frustrating. Emotionally, I think it should land really well. The lyrics are there, it's reflective, it's personal. But as an ending, I think it was slightly underwhelming. It doesn't build to anything and it doesn't leave a lasting impression on me, unfortunately. Because the album is quite long for what it is, I think it just needed something to really, lead you out. But the lyrics and tone do really save it for me. I think this is a good album. Most of these songs, if not all of them, just work quite well, but some of them do feel repetitive or the sound does get a bit tired. He's made an album that's a step above safe. It stands out for what it is, but it also plays it close to home. He's really defining that sound rather than pushing it to new heights. When you combine that with the length and the really clean production, you end up with a project that has some really great songs, but it doesn't quite hold up front to back. Trim a few tracks and I think you have a really good album here. As it stands though, it's solid but a little exhausting. So all in all, I would give this album a 7 out of 10.